Meshuggah are a Swedish extreme metal band located from Umeå in Sweden. Formed in 1987, Meshuggah's lineup has primarily consisted of founding members vocalist Jens Kidman and lead guitarist Fredrik Borendal and drummer Thomas Hall, who joined in 1990. Another main member of their band is also rhythm guitarist Martin Hagström, who joined in 1992. The band has gone through several bassists, but the position is currently held by Dick Lofgren, who since 2004. Initially, Meshuggah's playing style and overall sound consisted of a combination of fast tempo death metal, progressive metal, and included several jazz fusion elements. But as the band and their sound progressed, Meshuggah have successfully crossed a multitude of other subgenres. This includes avant-garde metal, or experimental metal, death metal and technical death metal, math metal using elements of math rock, and progressive metal. Throughout all, Meshuggah continue to incorporate elements of experimental jazz in all their works that sets them apart. Meshuggah have been known for their innovative musical style that evolves between each release and pushes the heavy metal into new territory, and for its technical prowess. Trademarks and characteristics that define Meshuggah's sound and songwriting include polyrhythms, polymetered breaths, rhythmic syncopation, rapid key and tempo changes, and neo-jazz chromatics. Polymeters typically used by Meshuggah, the guitars might play in odd meters such as 5/16 or 17/16, while the drums play in 4/4 or common time. One particular example of Hark's use of polymeter drumming in 4/4 against 23/16 bimeter, which keeps the hi-hat and the ride cymbal in 4/4 time, uses the snare and double bass drums in 23/16 times. On the track Rational Gaze from the album Nothing, Hark plays simple 4/4 time, hitting the snare on each third beat for 16 bars. At the same time, the guitars and bass are playing the same quarter notes, albeit in a different time signature. Eventually both sides meet up again on the 64th beat. Meshuggah have been known for the primary use of 7 and 8 string guitars, and even on the bass guitar. The two guitarists, Fredrik and Martin, have several signature guitars made from by Ibanez, as well as the bassist, Dick Lofgren, who also employs a range of signature Ibanez bass guitars. These two either have 7 or 8 strings. Drummer Thomas Hark has also been endorsed by Sonos since the band's early days and after their first album. The band also uses a technique known as amplifier modelling, a technique that allows them to change the amp settings and guitar sounds even after the song or album is fully recorded.
Jag gick igenom XFX bara för att få ut det digitalt via SPDIF. Så kör vi in allting i Cubase. Så har de en plugin, pedaler och förstärkare och högtalare och effekter, och så kan man sätta mikrofonen på olika sätt, och det låter så jävla bra så att det finns ingen anledning att hålla på med förstärkare eller någonting liksom. Så allting vi spelar in låter liksom så här. Om vi skulle vara missnöjda liksom med det här gitarrljudet så kan vi göra i princip vad som helst. Men i vanliga fall kör vi med XFX.
The way this band write and record an album is fairly unique and separates from all other known styles of band writing. Each band member will split off into their own space or workstation and write at least 2 songs each, before returning to the others to show them how their songs are played before they go onto the album.
Vi har väl alltid haft ungefär samma approach. Man letar efter någonting det där lite annorlunda för varje platta, och sättet vi gör det på nu, vi sitter ju vi egentligen vid varsin dator. Vissa sitter hemma och skriver musik, och sen liksom så spelar man upp det eller skickar det till varann online, och det arbetssättet är någonting som vi har hållit på med ganska länge.
Alltså, tanken var ju jävligt god att vi skulle liksom spela allting i studion och repa allting och få in det liksom.
För varje låt som blev klar så skulle vi spela in dem.
Och vi klarade faktiskt det.
På en låt. Sen återgick vi till en sån här fas som vi försökte ta oss ifrån, fast mer är van vid, tyvärr.
Det tog tvärnit, det var liksom bara en låt som vi stod ut med den.
Ja, precis, stod ut med den.
Och det var inte så att någon ogillar den direkt. Alltså det var att vi var jävlar vad kul det här var. Det här var fan the shit, nu kör vi på det här.
Och det som hände var ju faktiskt att vi tyckte att det här var ju ganska kul. Ska vi börja med nästa låt? Och då blev det splittring. För då började alla helt plötsligt att jobba med olika saker. Och det var där det gick åt helvete, för då vi började gå ner efter stigen som vi brukar gå.
Det är ju inte nödvändigtvis någonting negativt. Det negativa är ju liksom att man aldrig liksom egentligen spelar ihop som ett band innan vi gör en platta. Utan alla låtar är egentligen nya för alla i alla situationer under inspelningen. Liksom.
Approximately once a year, Hark writes most of the band's lyrics, with the exception of finished tracks. His lyrical inspirations are derived from books and films. Although Meshuggah does not record concept albums, the band prefers strong conceptual underpinnings in the background. Often described as being Aristotic and conceptual, Hark explores themes such as existentialism and out-of-body situations. The main theme of the 2008 album Obscene is human evil, according to Hark. The title is a play on words between the word obscene and zen, in addition to ob means anti in Latin. Therefore, the title suggests that the human species is found harmony and balance in warfare and bloodshed.
Jens på sång till exempel kan det vara en fråga om att han får en text och jag har pratat eller viskat in sången ofta med dist så att man kan göra någonting som låter ungefär som uttrycket så som man vill att uttrycket ska vara. Och så får han några veckor som han kan öva på det.
Det mesta var väl skrivet innan. Sen har det ju blivit... Så blir det ju alltid ändringar i låtar och strukturer på text då. Och sen har vi skrivit om, skrivit till, tagit bort, ändra grejer som vi inte tyckte passade till musiken.
The band originally sounded and were influenced by thrash bands like Metallica or Slayer, both of whom were very popular around the time of the band's formation in 1987. Early albums such as Contradiction Collapse in 1991 and Destroy Erase Improve in 1995 are large indicators of this and of the thrash movement. Because of their own unusual take on thrash, Meshuggah gained a small but dedicated fan base and beginning to appear in large rock magazines like Rolling Stones or Alternative Press. Meshuggah have found little mainstream success as of yet, but are a significant act in the extreme underground music and have gained more attention and more respect among more mainstream audiences in the late 2000s. Meshuggah are also renowned for being the progenitors of another subgenre of metal known as djent, an onomatopoeic term which describes an elastic syncopated guitar riff. Since the band's formation in 1987, other bands have been influenced by their sound and become known as djent bands. These bands include Periphery, Animals as Leaders, Tesseract, Textures, Chimp Spanner, Monuments, Sick, Sirens, After the Burial, A Life Once Lost, Veil of Maya, Glass Cloud, Bildrata, Born of Osiris and the Acacia Strain. Because Meshuggah integrated the djent subgenre of metal, they are inadvertently one of the main acts in the scene, but other acts that are influenced by them are also large and have taken their own approach to djent and are taking it more of a progressive direction. Bands like Periphery and Animals as Leaders are examples of this. Although these bands are main players in the djent scene, they do not consider themselves to be djent bands and have mixed feelings of being affiliated with this certain genre.
This whole djent thing, which, you know,
that's all you, man.
I get blamed for this. I didn't even come up with the word. Like I've said this a million times, but Frederick from Meshuggah came up with it. I used to post on the Meshuggah forum, right? And that's where I picked up the word, because people are describing guitar tone. It's just a palm move. They kick really hard, and I really like the way it sounds. It sounds metallic. It's like djent, right?
Is that the one where they like stack the
yeah,
power chords?
where you play four notes on the power chord, and we do that. So like
I remember reading that.
I was yeah, exactly, right? And that's where the term originated. So I just heard about it, and I was looking for gear that was djenty. Like, oh, are these pickups djenty? And like, for some reason it caught on, but completely in the wrong way. People think it's a style of music, and they think that it's a style of music that I play. And there's a misconception because, like, I guess low-tuned, open notes, syncopated riffs are now called djent riffs, even though it has nothing to do, because a lot of djent bands don't even play that djent chord or even do that.
This question on Blue Street, what do you think of the term djent? Yeah. Do you guys know what djent is, rolling non-middle there? Apparently this is djent. That sound. And that's what I think of it. I don't know. I guess it's a legitimate genre because you can really, I mean, if you can take out, like, or you can isolate 3, 4, 5 all using it as a genre of music, and they're consistent in every artist who is playing in that genre, then I feel like you can call it a genre. So gent to me is a genre because you can really isolate what makes something gent, you know? But I don't really prescribe to genres in general. I'm concerned with the ones I like, and then I'm concerned with making a new one if I can, or combining the ones that I like. So yeah, gent by any other name for the sound is good.
Well, that's all we've got time for now. My presentation on Meshuggah, the movement of gent and the bands that have been influenced by it. I hope you've all enjoyed it, and thank you very much for your time.